Hey y'all, it's Ali from Little Hill Homestead. Are you enjoying our makeup series? I think there's been one whole video so far, so not much to go on, right? Well, today's video, I'm gonna show you guys how to make your own eyeshadow. Are you ready for this? So, making your own eyeshadow honestly is quite easy. I, for years, was what's a nice way to put this? I'm a makeup hoarder. I have a lot of it. I have lots of brands. I have Mercier. I have Urban Decay. You name it, the Balm. You name a brand, I own it somewhere from years ago. I'm not like that anymore. I prefer to use things that are a little bit cleaner and I know what's going into them. Plus, you can make your own for a fraction of the price. Do you know how much an Urban Decay palette is, you guys? I've got like 8. What do I need 8 palette for? And they're probably all browns. Like let's be real. But I'm going to show you guys how we make our own today using ingredients that you can easily buy for not a lot of money, or you may already have on hand. Let me put a disclaimer on this. When we were doing a bunch of testing, I did try to put some natural ingredients in these, like cinnamon, cocoa powder, ginger, things like that in the eyeshadows. Just did not work. Hi, baby love. I did them and they were just kind of crumbly. And so I'm not using, for that purpose, really natural ingredients like spices and stuff like that. What I ended up using and what worked the best were the mica powders that I bought. Look at all these colors, you guys. Like, honestly, I think this box was like $8 and it came with a billion color options. I've got more over here. I've got more here. A billion. I mean, so much. Let's see. So you can make mix and matches. You can use single colors. Like, think of the possibilities. Those, though, I already have it all over me, you guys. Those are all going to have a shimmer to them. That is the thing with mica powders or mica, however you say it. Don't correct me. We're going to go like Micah from the Bible. There you go. They have a shimmer. No matter what, they're going to have a shimmer. That's just what they are. If you want a matte color, you need to do oxides, iron oxides, things like that. So we have a pack. These were also not very expensive because you guys know I don't like to spend a lot of money making these videos. We don't make money off of them, so we don't like to spend a lot on them. Iron oxides are going to make matte colors. So think browns, things like that. I did a brown, I'll show you. Black's going to be great, or activated charcoal for eyeliners and things like that. But these are going to be great if you want matte colors. Again, go lighter if you're going to go with them, or go darker. You can use them like at different matte percentages to get more intense. So I've already used one of these today. So, okay, I started making a bunch so that you didn't have to watch a 45-minute video. Although I'm super entertaining for 45 minutes, you don't need to be all up in that. So I have 3 that I'm going to be showing you today, and then I'll show you my completed palette that we have made using all these recipes. So the first thing you're going to need, I know this says cornstarch. It's not. It's arrowroot powder. So you can use cornstarch. If you don't have a corn allergy, have at it. You can use cornstarch. We're using arrowroot because it's what we've got in this container. You need a quarter of a teaspoon going into each one of those. Like I said, I'm going to show you 3 because that's the amount I have left. Honestly, I could make 100 of these. I'm having way too much fun. Like I said, I like makeup, so. The next thing you need, you have a couple options with this part of it. This is bentonite clay. We used it for a face mask in our body care series, so you can use that in it. It is going to give it a little bit of a hue. So if you want something that's more pure color, more true, like if you're going to be using a yellow and you want it to stay yellow, if you're going to be using a purple and you don't want that little funky hue that you get from bentonite clay, you can use kaolin clay as well. I have added these into our Amazon storefront. If you click on there, there's a square that says body care. It's going to have all the stuff from our body care series and all the stuff from this, including the containers that we used. I'm not sure if this one's in there yet, but I will add it if it is not, because that was one thing I did have to grab. But did I add it to these? Not yet. Okay, let's actually follow through with something here. So the colors that I'm going to be making you today, I'm going to be making this one. It's a beautiful like goldish color. I'm going to be doing this one. It's like a pinkish color called Pearl. I'll show you out of the containers. And then I'm going to be making this like beautiful purple. So I'll show you these, but because of these being lighter in color. I don't want to use something that's going to add a brown or green hue to them. So I'm going to only use our, what's this stuff called? Bentonite clay in one of our little pots. One of our little bowls is going to get that for our, this is called beer, by the way. The color is called beer, but it's a beautiful gold. So it is what it is. Then to the other two, I'm going to add the kaolin clay, 1/4 teaspoon. I'm saying get a little tiny container if you're going to do this because you don't need a lot. These actually make more than what fits in our little pots, but the easiest way to measure for me was 1/4 teaspoons. Think of this, by the way, I know a lot of you guys told me during the body care series, like, oh, I had my grandkids over, we made these for gifts. Would this not be like such a fun little day to make like makeup stuff with your grandies? I think it would be fun. I don't have any of those yet, but it's the kind of thing that would be fun. It's not overly expensive. And I'll show you containers later, but there's some really frugal options. The other thing you can do is go to like Dollar Tree and buy an eyeshadow palette as they have for $1.25, rip the colors out and save the little silver parts, fill it and make your own. $1.25. So this one is what we are calling beer. Yeah, everybody wants to wear that. Let me show you what mica powder looks like straight up. Do you see how gold and beautiful it is? Let me show you on my arm. Oh my goodness. See, you can use these straight up if you want uber intense. Just put them on there and have at it. But I like to dilute them just a touch. So in total, I'm adding probably 1/4 teaspoon of that, maybe just a slight bit less. Remember, the lighter you go, the lighter it's going to be. The more you put, the more intense it's going to be. So that will be that one. To these ones, I'm going to add our pearl color. I figure I'll go down the line while I'm, doing it, right? This is our pearl. This one is an interesting one. It's kind of a mauvey pinky color. Oh yeah, look at that. Ugh. Okay, let me see if you can see it. You see it on this finger? It's so hard to get colors to show up. I've got it on my hand. You see it right there? It's like a beautiful highlight color. It's gonna be lovely. When you're making these, like, I think for me, I do kind of an all over color that's kind of a light color. Then I get my crease with like a medium brown or a something, medium color. And then I like to do right on my eyelid right here, a little bit lighter color. So in planning these, I tried to think of like, how would I use them instead of just putting, like, I mean, I'm not going to use this color. I'm not from Tennessee, so I'm not going to use full orange. Let's just be real. Let's see. I'm probably not going to use, well, there's some in here that I might actually use, but like chances of me wearing this color on a daily basis, apple green, or what is this other one called? Lime, probably not going to happen. So I was trying to pick colors that I would actually use. Although I'll probably keep going and make all of them. Let me get this little baggie open. So the last color we're using is called Datura, Datura. There was a couple different purples in this pack, but this one just seemed really beautiful to me. Do you see that? Oh, it's really hard to see on my pinky. I'm going to be a glimmering mess when this is done, and I'm all about it. Do you see it right there? Okay, so you see how micas are very shimmery? That's what I'm saying, y'all. If you use these kind of powders, you're going to have shimmer. Let me show you. I'll show you an iron oxide just to give you a frame of reference. Look, I have an iron oxide that's purple over here. Let me just put them next to each other just so you can kind of see the difference. I don't mind a little glitter in my life. I know they say after a certain age you should not wear it, but come on. Okay, this is the iron oxide, flat, no shimmer. Do you see how shiny and shimmery this one can be? You can mix them together, make something kind of interesting too. Nobody telling you the rules. You're making your own rules, right? Okay, so I have my 3 little cups ready to go. If you want it, a loose eyeshadow, which is just super powdery, you can leave it like this and you can put them in little containers like these guys. I'll have these linked below. You would just kind of, to me, a pressed eyeshadow is a little easier to use, but this is something you could do. If you want it pressed, more like a traditional eyeshadow, you're going to do 3 to 4 drops of vitamin E, or pick your favorite carrier oil. You can use sweet almond, you could use vitamin E. I get this at Trader Joe's. These little bottles are not that expensive. They last me forever, so that's what I'm using. You could use coconut oil if you want. This is just easy for me to control. And then we are going to splash it. This is rubbing alcohol. You guys, it's a 50% rubbing alcohol. I'm going to do a splash. Don't do too much, it becomes a puddle, and that's what we don't want. But literally, it's just a dribble. And remember, anytime you make one of these, the alcohol is going to dissipate off as they sit for about 24 hours, so it won't be a long-term wetness. What is she talking about? So what I've been doing is using a toothpick. And here's our puddle, right? I've been kind of just starting to incorporate with the toothpick, and then I've been going in with my fingers to get it really good. But I want my oil and my, I was going to say vinegar, my oil and my alcohol to kind of start to be incorporated before I go in there with my fingers. I just found this worked the best when we were doing all of our trials. So right now it looks like that. It's kind of a powder. If you go with your finger and just start spinning, it's going to help incorporate all that oil a little bit more and move that alcohol around just a little more. There's some clumps. You're going to have to move those clumps around with your fingers, but just like that. So it's just kind of bringing it together nicely. This would be a great time to kind of test it out and see, is this the strength that I want? Do I want more of something in it, mica powder or whatever? If you feel like it is too powdery still, add one more drop of oil or a drop of alcohol. But I feel like the alcohol is so hard to control that I prefer to do the oil. And just give it a whirl. That easy, you guys. That easy. So I'm going to test a little bit out. I have a mess all over my hand, but do I feel like that is intense enough? Oh my word. Okay, I don't know if you can see it. I have too many colors going on. It's right here. I wanted a lighter gold. It's right there. You can see it. Do you see it? Yeah, I think we're good. So that one I'm going to set to the side, clean my hand off, and move on to my next color, which is our pearl. This one's going to be incredible, you guys. I don't know why this one was like, I don't know. It's a beautiful, like, pinky pearlescent. It's got a touch of mauve looking color to it. Super kind of like on trend right now, I think. Again, my fingers are clean enough that I feel comfortable going in and starting to incorporate it with my fingers. If you do a really dark color, I would definitely wash your hands a little bit better than I am. These, by the way, you get 4 of these little dishes, Dollar Tree, $1.25 for 4 of them. They're in the kitchen aisles. And I love them for things like this because it's like, oh, that's just easy. I'm going to add a splash of rubbing alcohol to this one. I'm going to try not to do too much. There we go. So what that does is help it be able to pack in there, and then it dissipates away, but it leaves it like nice and compacted into your little container. Okay, there's our pearl. Let's see if you can see that one now that I've got the gold off of me. Remember, this one's going to be a little bit lighter on. Okay, it's right there. So it's kind of just a beautiful pearlescent little bit of pink, very soft. And then our last one, I might add more to it because I kind of want it. I like intense purples, guys. This is our purple. It's called Datura. It must be a flower. I don't think I've ever heard of it, but it looks kind of like a orchid or something. And again, if you want it to be a stronger purple, pick one of your other purples and either mix things together, add some of your iron oxide colors to get some intensity going on. Okay, which finger's the cleanest? This one's good still. Take it for a whirl, y'all. You kind of can see the consistency change as you're running your finger through it. It's really breaking up nicely. And it gets like, do you see it's like clumpy now versus like powdery. All of our stuff's incorporated into it nicely. Okay, and here is our purple. This is about the time you can decide, whoop, that one a little clumpy, but that's only because I had so much on my finger. It's right there. Do you see it? That's pretty. Let's see, do I want it more purple? Nah, I'll make a second one that's purple, like a darker purple. Okay, so I have a towel here. I'm doing this just to make my life easy. So this is the palette that we bought. Has these little pans that pop right out of it. You're going to take one of those little pans. You're going to set it on a towel. You can set it right on the counter if you want. And then you're just going to slowly kind of scoop some of this down into the little pan. It's going to be a little clumpy from your oil and alcohol. It's fine because we got tricks. And I kind of use my toothpick to maneuver it around in the pan so that you have like a nice mound going on, because when we push it down, it's really going to compact in there. But okay, like that. I use a little piece of parchment paper. You can use a coin as well if you would prefer. I find this to work. You could probably use like a mason jar lid, to be honest, and just flip it over, anything flat. I find that I like the way this works. So I'm just going to set it on top of it, and then I just kind of push down with my finger till you feel it like compacting in there, and then I spin it in a circle, and it really gets it down in there and level. Then I'm going to go back in, and you'll see like a variation of colors. I don't know if you can see it on there. That's just the oil and stuff in there. It's not going to affect your final product. Once you go to use it, it's fine. It'll dry and dissipate and do its thing. If these feel still crumbly, you can take a little bit of rubbing alcohol, put in a squirt bottle, like a really light mist squirt bottle, squirt over the tops of it, and it'll settle in there and make them a little more compacted as well. Okay. Again, just spinning my finger around in a circle. You'll be able to feel it. And then I just kind of clean the edges off. This one did get a little funky. It looks like a planet in there. But let it dry completely, and then you'll be able to use it just like you would any eyeshadow. All right, let me show you one more. And then I'll show you my, I'm looking for the little pots. They're right here in front of my face. Let's see. I got 2 more to go, and then my palette is actually full. I was hoping to get a little more out of it. I was going to fit like the whole world in one palette, and it just didn't have that much space. I should have gotten one this big, right? I mean, I could probably fill it. Oh, goodness, you guys. All right, the next one I'm going to put in here, this is our beer color. Lovely name. Again, just kind of taking our toothpick and compacting it down around there. Again, your parchment, your coin, whatever you're using, give it a spin. If you're worried about it, you can wear gloves too, by the way. I'm not a glove wearer. I own them. I hate wearing them. I feel like you can't do things with them on. Just a little top off. And then sometimes I'll put these, whatever's left, loose in some of those other little containers. Because why not, right? You can have one for in the house and one for in your bag if you have a little travel thing going on. Okay, that's that. Let me clean off the edge. And there's our beer. It does look like it. Okay. And our last one, and then I'll show you our final palette. This is that pearl color that we thought was so pretty. Kind of that pinky pearl. I mean, you guys think of your grandbabies. I was thinking grandbabies. I mean, if you have sisters, if you have kids, this would be a fun one. Like, think your little girls. How fun would it be to sit and do this with them? And they can make one for maybe theirs and a friend in a play date type of a thing. Or even teenagers would be all about this. There you go. Teenagers don't want to hang out with us. But if you say, hey, let's make makeup together, maybe they will. Okay, a little more to the top of that. And like I was saying, the mica powders that we have, they're going to go a long way, you guys, and they're not that expensive. They have a million options on Amazon. It doesn't have to be the one that we have. Pick your poison. Just make sure it's cosmetic grade. That was the only thing. Okay. Again, you get some little oil spots in it. But there's our beautiful pinky color. Let me show you what we ended up with after this mayhem. You ready? Okay, and these are all, except for one, these are all mica powders. Look at that. Okay. See? Okay, so this is the eyebrow powder from yesterday, so ignore that one. This is made with the oxide. So this is our only matte. Everything else in here is going to be a beautiful, look at this one, you guys. That is incredible. But these are all using those mica powders. That beautiful greenish one is I don't know. It's in here somewhere. I'll have to find it. But aren't they pretty? I don't want to push too hard into them, but I'll show you that beautiful greenish one that I'm talking about. This one right here. Do you see the like brownish, reddish shimmer that it's coming off of? It's still a little bit wet, but you see it? Oh, let's see. I have so many colors on me. It's ridiculous. I can't get it to come out because it's not fully dried yet, but that one I like so much. I'm going to make like 7 things of that. Anyways, that is our palette. I need to do a price thing on this one because our arrowroot is extremely cheap. It's a 1/4 teaspoon of arrowroot. Our bentonite clay or your kaolin, also a huge bag of it's like $5. So you'll be able to get a million colors. The mica and the your pigments, these guys, I think it was $10 or right around there for 6 of them, but for $20 or less, you'd be able to make multiples of these, like a bunch. The palette's linked below too, but like I was saying, these just pop out. This is not white, by the way. This is a purple. Let's see if you'll be able to see it. It's looks white, but it's you can't see. I got too many colors going on. It's a beautiful purple color, but look at all those. Think of all the options, you guys. Anyways, that is our video for today. Go make some eyeshadows. How fun. How fun, right? By the way, I'm wearing the eyebrow powder from our recent video. Doesn't it look nice? Looks nice. Anyways, that's our video for today, you guys. Go make some eyeshadows. And thank you for those of you that stuck around. It was kind of a long one, but like, I mean, if I could make all these. Look at all these colors, you guys. They're incredible. Oh, this is that beautiful green. Green brown. It's called chocolate. But again, I'm going to probably, when this is done, I'll put some of these in these and use them just as eyeshadows too. They're going to be super, ooh, that's a pretty one. They're going to be super intense, but anyways, any micas and super simple ingredients and you're set to make a beautiful eyeshadow palette. Thanks for watching, you guys.